Welcome back. My first guest this evening, while we were chatting a little bit during the commercial break, I realized that I needed to add a fourth to my top jobs that I'm glad that I don't have in 2015 because I might be much hungrier than I am right now. Number 4 is painter. My guest this evening is Paul Hitter. He is the worldwide exponent of Balkan Expressionism, and he's got some beautiful art here tonight. We're going to talk about his upcoming gallery premiere and about painting. Hi, Paul Hitter. How are you?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank
too.
you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
You know, just as I turned, I realized that you could go right into one of your paintings.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it.
Nice,
just to fit.
nice. Excellent.
I should represent my work and the other way.
Absolutely, very cool. Give us a little background on your love of art. Was it something that you were always drawing as a little boy?
It started pretty easy, actually. You know, I lived in communism, under communism, so we didn't have interesting toys. So I started drawing with, like, I was 2 years or 3 years old, just drawing on the walls of my apartment, and then it just continued. So I've been like almost all my life through art schools and art high school. Then I moved to Germany and studied there in Munich at the art university. But I guess the hardest part, I did it by myself in my free time at home, just painting, drawing, yeah.
And was that something, because I grew up in a small place and I always loved music, but when I watched the great musicians of the day, like, it never occurred to me, I thought they were from another planet. And I didn't think I could do that because I was just from a little town. Did you always know, or did you always have a certainty that you would actually be an artist?
Yes, even though it may sound crazy. I mean, in the beginning it was more like a dream, but then with the time you're getting more and more certain of it. And I think now I'm like sentenced for life, you know. I can't get out of it.
Well, of course, now you're
it's a sort
in
of
the
a
game.
Disease, yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, talk, if you would, a little bit, and we got to take a break in a second, and we'll get specifically to these paintings. But talk a little bit about the influence of, and I think it's easy to see, but talk about how you grew up, where you grew up, and how that has kind of continued as a theme in your work.
Yeah. Well, actually, I experienced, I would say, 3 sorts of life: in communism, post-communism, and then when I moved to Germany, capitalism. So I think all of that sort of made a world in which I could turn and find subjects. In Germany, actually, where I was studying, I had a lot of friends from the Balkan region, and I noticed that there are a lot of exponents of the Balkan culture in music, in film, but none in painting. So I thought we have a lot of interesting themes and folklore, and I would just use that. You know, I discovered my treasure and got on top of it and just started working.
And the field was wide open.
Yeah, exactly.
In art and painting. Very cool.
Yes.
Let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll talk specifically about these paintings and
Yes.
about your show that you've got coming up.
Yeah.
It's Paul Hitter. He's going to have an exhibition this weekend. We'll find out all about right after the break. Please stay tuned. It's Mountain Views on Park City Television. Welcome back to Mountain Views. We're chatting with Balkan Expressionist artist Paul Hitter. Welcome back.
Thank you. Hi.
So let's talk about these paintings that we have here, and if you would start with the one to our far right. I get a heavy subject, but bright colors that kind of draw me in to consider the actual image more.
Yeah, actually my colors exploded again while I was studying in Germany, because it's sort of a gray weather pretty much of the time there.
I've been to Germany.
So the color exploded. On the other hand, when you have such a difficult and hard subject, you have to sweeten it a bit. So I just, you know, it just fitted perfectly with the colors and with the nice flowers sometimes and the decorations, which again are getting back to my Balkan background. Yeah.
And
I would also want to say that I had a Pretty much, it's very funny for me to be in the U.S. You know, living under communists, my father would always listen to rock and roll music, and I would grow up reading to Mark Twain stories and Karl May, like Winnetou. So since I'm here, I sort of redesigned the Balkan Expressionism in a sort of American Balkan Expressionism. So I'm like starting to use some American themes. And actually, I was on this beach. This is like the D-Day war veteran. And while I was 7 years old, and some friends from France invited us there, and I was on that beach, and it was very impressive to me, and that's why now being here, I thought it's a good moment to...
The memory stays. A great selection for this evening. And talk about this piece, if you would.
Yeah, this is more, I'm trying to capture a moment, the moment a woman prepares for a party. It's a sort of Andalusian gypsy party what's gonna happen, and yeah, I'm using a lot of gypsy patterns, and I'm pretty much also interested in this game. If you notice that the woman is with the back, but still you can see her face. I use the mirror. Yeah, so I like this, play with these effects. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got a
what
little
What do you think about it?
I love it, and I like, I love the gypsy influence. I also feel between the colors and a little, some of the influences here, I see a little bit of what we see a lot of Mexico.
You know, gypsies are real people, you know? I mean, they're not like fairy tale characters. Right. A lot of people are thinking that we're like Mickey Mouse or something.
Absolutely, and we've kind of, actually, you know, further to your point, you know, we've kind of had some of these reality shows in the States that portray my big fat gypsy life and all that kind of thing, and I always feel like, as somebody who grew up listening to Django Reinhardt on the guitar and Stefan Grappelli on the fiddle and these amazing people, that the way that gypsies are being portrayed now on television is kind of sad. So to me, this means a lot, and I'm happy that even as we're sitting here at Park City Television, there's an influence of the culture that is beautiful and elevating, instead of just, oh, the gypsies are kooky, and
they're between all the nations of the world, they are predestined to be artists and good musicians.
Indeed, indeed.
Yes.
All right, and last one here, looks like you've got another kind of World War II influenced. Yeah,
I'm preparing also the third one, who's going to be like the Afghanistan war veteran. I want to make like
I see.
Yeah, 3 paintings on a veterans theme. It's about the New Year's Day in Vietnam. So I don't know if you remember the Tet Offensive. Nobody expected it, and I kind of got into that story, and I watch a lot of documentaries and I read about it. I'm also pretty much interested in history, so I like to read a lot and inform myself.
So you're always doing work for your paintings.
Yeah, I'm like a sponge, you know, absorbing, and so behind each painting is a story. You know, I think it's a pity to have such a big canvas and not to tell as many things as you can and express. And yes.
So we got to talk about your show. You have a show on Saturday night.
Looking forward to it. Yes.
Bar Deluxe.
Yes.
And that is, I don't mind saying, 666 South State Street. I didn't make it up. I don't write the addresses in this town. Touché. So, and what amount of, you're going to have a ton of work there, and our work's going to be for sale?
Yes, and I will have this show with the band Juana Ghani. Yes, they're going to have a wonderful show there with, I think there are like 20 people in the band. Yeah,
Juana Ghani's big and perfect music. Good.
Exactly.
Kind of folk, punk, gypsy music.
Yeah, actually it fits pretty well. I also, at one point, I invented a sort of another way of opening an exhibition, always with a live band, you know, it's like...
Sure.
Gets a different mixture of people, and everybody's more relaxed, and you don't have
and people who maybe don't think that they're into art can be pulled in by, oh, Juana Ghani's playing, and they can learn a little something.
So big thank you to them. They invited us to the show, and
excellent.
Also spending some time with them now.
Excellent.
It's fun.
PaulHitter.com.
Yes.
We have the, wow, nice camera shot. There it is. See more of this art find out more about this fantastic artist, Paul Hitter, at paulhitter.com. Go to Bar Deluxe. I'll be there on Saturday night. Enjoy some beautiful art. It's so nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. Keep up the beautiful, colorful work, and best wishes for gigantic success.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Paul Hitter, paulhitter.com. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to do weather. We got to talk to my pal Rob Harder, and then Merchant Royal is going to play their brand new video from their brand new record. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.